Morning peeps. I think we're going to talk about apitherapy. Okay, we're going to talk about apitherapy. That deals with 5 different therapies that are used from bees. 3 of them I have tried, 2 I have not, and I never will, because I find them disturbing personally. I know that if you're vegan, you're against all bee stuff. I am predominantly vegan, but I am vegan for health reasons, so I believe personally that honey is more nutritious and better for you than refined sugars. So that being said, we're going to talk about these. I'm sure I'll get some more thumbs down because I got a lot of them on that video I did about getting stung by a bee for apitherapy. So let's get right with it. The first one on my list, the bees. Let me just say that bees make the best products for antifungal, antibacterial, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. I mean, every one of them have been proven to have all of those great substances in them. And so people like to use them because of that. And the first one on the list is royal jelly. What royal jelly is when they need a new queen in the hive, they will take an egg and make a specific cell for that egg to go into, and then fill it up with royal jelly so that it will turn into a queen. The same egg is used, it just has to do with what it's fed. Now, a regular cell in a hive is horizontally, and when they make a queen, they make the cell go vertically. And I'm not sure all the specifics. When God did bees, he put it way over my head. I think it's absolutely flamazing what they do and they can accomplish, but I can't go to specifics on it because I'm not smart enough. But that royal jelly has been known to, especially people who can afford it, is for anti-aging. Now you can't, some people ingest it, some people put it in creams and smear it on their faces. I don't want to do that. I don't know. My mom told me years ago that her and my dad did bees all of his life. He was a beekeeper or an apiarist, whatever you want to call it. He did bees all of his life. And at one point, my mom said that they were paying, this would have been back in the 50s, they were paying like $50 a pound for royal jelly. So they thought they would, harvest royal jelly and make big bucks. So, my dad is very ingenious in creating ways to do things. And they did collect royal jelly for one season. She said it was not all that fun to do, and so they never did it again. So whoever does collect the royal jelly, they've got a lot of moxie, I guess. Anyway, so it is used in predominantly makeup type things, and some people ingest it. Like I said, I'll pass. The second one is bee pollen. Bee pollen is collected by the bees. They go out to the flowers and it gets caught on their legs, and they bring it back and they soup it up and they feed it to the baby bees. We call it bee bread. And they feed it to the baby bees. Now, again, it has all of those qualities, and so some people like to ingest it. You can buy it in pill form, you can buy it just in the little chunks and throw it on your food or whatever. I, like I said, have never gotten into it, not going to. It looks disturbing to me, but people do that. The next one is honey. Now, I have ate honey all my life. Obviously, my dad was a beekeeper. If you saw sugar in my house when I was growing up, somebody else left it there, because my mother used sugar or honey in everything, no sugar. We drank Kool-Aid when I was a kid, and it was made with honey. Yes, everything we did was with honey. So if she canned, it was with honey. If she made anything that required sweetener, it was with honey. And honey, like everything else, has all kinds of, you know, antifungal, antibacterial, all that stuff. One of the things that I read, because I did do some reading and research to try to see if I could expound on this, it said that honey was good as an antidepressant and anti-anxiety. I don't know if that's true. I don't know anybody who's tested it and tried it. I personally am not a fan of honey, probably because every fall when we would pull the honey off of the hives and extract it, which is the process of pulling the honey out of the frames, we ate way too much, and it, you know, by the time you got done doing that, you didn't want to eat it anymore. However, I suffer from allergies, you know, from sinus allergies from all of the pollen floating around in the air, and so I always get honey from the area where I'm living, and I eat some every morning, or try to. And that is because but it has to be raw honey. You can't like buy it out of the store and at work. It has to be raw honey from the area where you're living. Because raw honey means that it's going to have particles of pollen in it, and if you ingest small amounts of it, your body gets a toleration for it. You know, it builds up an immunity kind of thing. And I have found that it has always worked for me. If I don't get the honey from the area, I will have problems. I still have small problems, but it's not like if I don't get honey. So I use the honey a lot, simply because it works for me as an allergen reducer. So that's honey. It is bee food. I mean, that's basically what it is. That's what they generally live off of. I'm not going to go into all the specifics about how they make it or any of that. I have been known to call it bee vomit. So I know that made you want to go eat some, right? Okay, the next thing that I used a lot when I was in the bees was propolis. My dad always called it bee glue, because bees, the propolis has to do with sap out of the sap out of trees, and then the bees do their thing to it, and they stick it all around the edges of like where the lid sits on, or between where the boxes are stuck together, and it's kind of to glue it together so that they can either keep it cool or warm inside the hive. So it's like, my dad always called it bee glue, and that has all those same properties that we talked about, but I would make a salve out of it. There was other stuff in it. I had to write it down because I knew I would get here and not remember exactly what I was talking about. The salve I would make, the main ingredient would be beeswax, and that's kind of to make it solid. So it would have beeswax, propolis, comfrey, plantain, chaparral, and then olive oil. And you would cook this and then strain it and put it into your containers, and it would be there for use. I found it worked very well. I had a lot of people who at one point were purchasing it for cold sores because they said it really helped. I'm not one who's prone to cold sores, so can't verify that, but that's what they would use it for. But propolis I did use a lot. I don't anymore. I don't have access to get it. My sister was making it, and so we were getting tins from her of it, and I haven't had the need. So maybe when La Brother starts his bee business up, we will start it up again. I don't know. We'll see. Chaparral is a little bit hard to get. My dad used to pick it when he would go out to California for me, I had a friend who grew comfrey, and plantain used to just grow all over in North Dakota. Now plantain, when I say plantain, I mean the herb plantain, not the banana looking things, just for that. Now the video that I put up was bee venom, and I got a lot of flack for that. That's mean, that's, you know, you're killing the bees, blah blah blah. Okay, so the reason that I was catching the bees is my left hand has issues. I don't know what's wrong with it. I've never been diagnosed with arthritis, but I just kind of guess that's what it is. We had beekeeper friends in California that she suffered from back problems horrendously, and so about every 3 to 6 months, depending on how long it lasted, her husband would sting her down on either side of her spine, and she said that it made a huge difference for her. Now she had rheumatoid arthritis, and so it worked. And so I thought I would try it on my hand to see if, you know, like I said, I have never been diagnosed. I will not go to the doctor to find out why my hand hurts. So it is what it is. So I just thought I would try getting stung on my hand. Now it did relieve the pain for a little while. And since I've not really delved into the process, I don't know if I don't have arthritis. So I did sting myself one time, and it did help for a short period of time. And I don't know if that's psychosomatic or if it actually did something. I have been going to try to do it again. I just haven't done it. So some of the other things they say that bee venom helps is osteoporosis and chronic pain. Well, if you have rheumatoid arthritis, you have chronic pain. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go out and catch bees and sting yourself, because a lot of people have allergies. And when I say allergies to bees, I don't mean if you swell up. Swelling up is a natural reaction to bee stings, and everybody who gets stung should swell up. If you don't, I'd be nervous. Now, some people, a true allergy, some people, they may get stung on their hand, but internally they will swell up and they will go into anaphylactic shock, and they can't breathe and all of that. Swelling up from a bee sting is natural. Does not mean you are allergic to them. It means that your body is reacting the normal way it should. If you are allergic, you will go into anaphylactic shock. Not a pretty sight, so I would not be just going out and catching bees and trying to sting yourself. When my dad got in his wreck and we decided to go and help, my spouse could not remember ever being stung, and we had my grandson at the time, and I did not know if he was allergic. So I caught bees and we went down to the hospital where my dad was staying, and outside the hospital I stung both of them so that they could find out if they were allergic, because we weren't going to go and help my dad if they were allergic. Now it's tough to explain to a 3-year-old why you're stinging them. That didn't go over well. But neither one of them were allergic. They did swell up because that's a normal reaction to a bee sting. But so we did do bees we started in 1999, and we did it until my spousal unit got sick in 2011. So I can't do math, so I don't know how long we were in it, but that was it. But that was me explaining apitherapy. Like I said, I am predominantly vegan because of health reasons. It has nothing to do with saving the animals, although I do believe in saving the animals. But so that's my stance on it. I don't know if you learned anything. Maybe I bored you to death and you left. I don't know. That was it, peeps. I just wanted to explain a little bit about apitherapy. I hope you're doing absolutely flamazing. Stay blessed. Until next time. Hey, you made it to the end. Please hit like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned. The outtakes are coming up next. You don't want to miss them. And I started out with ums already. Oh, snap. Let's try that again. Appa is like short for the apiary, or what's the word? I don't know. My brain doesn't work. Two squirrels fighting in the trees. I think we're gonna start this again. What the heck? Can you hear the woodpecker? I thought it'd be cool to sit out here where the birds are singing and stuff, but squirrels are dropping out of trees because they're fighting, and there's woodpeckers. Oh well. And I'm the one getting distracted. Anyways.